Morning, folks. It's Tuesday. I'm at the cemetery today, and another dreary day. But I was just driving over here and it started pouring, so I'm gonna hopefully get this walk done pretty fast. So this morning, trying to give you some of that view. Beautiful down there. I think I gotta go slower. This morning, I did go to McDonald's with my brother. I met him there. And I had my 2 eggs and 2 pieces of sausage. The round patty sausages. And then he went home, and from there I went to Aldi's. I just did some shopping. I have it in the car. Aldi's has some pretty good pieces of meat, I think. Now, if you buy the best, you might not think so. But I try to buy what's on sale and, something affordable. And I'm being on a fixed income. I try to not go crazy. But I found some good ribeyes down there that were not too expensive. There was like 6 in a pack, but they're thin ones. And I think they were like $16 for all of them. So that's 6 meals. Of course, with some eggs alongside it. So that really isn't that bad. Now, I don't always seem to see the same packaged meat. Sometimes they change it around. So I'm not guaranteed to find those 6 ribeyes like that. But they caught my eye because they had a lot of fat on them. That's what I wanted. So, like I said, they're not... A lot of people probably wouldn't like that. But, so it was pouring back over on my way back here to the cemetery. So, and now it's starting to drizzle again. So, I want to get this done before it starts pouring. Yesterday, I did the 3/4 mile around the track. And I did pretty good, but last night, during the evening, I was exhausted. And so I used my vibrating plate, and that loosened up my legs a little. But now even today, I'm feeling like I'm sluggish. I slept great last night, but I feel sluggish, and that might be because I ate. I don't really know. I gotta go slow, folks. My mind wants to go fast, but my body won't let me. Not at this point in time. Maybe eventually. That little bit of 2 eggs and the sausages, I feel bloated from that for some reason. But last night, I didn't eat much yesterday. And last night, all I had was a chuck roast that I had in the crock pot all day yesterday. And I put lots of butter on it. And I did not even need to have the eggs go along with it, which what is I normally do to try to fill it in. And I didn't eat from 6 o'clock, it might have been 10 after 6 or something, but from then until 10 o'clock this morning when I met my brother. And I was not hungry. I was a little hungry about 9 this morning, but I knew it was getting close, so I didn't even put butter in my coffee. But I do feel sluggish. I thought I'm going to get out here and run this thing. I don't know why I thought that. And there's a little slope. I mean, you don't notice it, but even coming up on the other side, it's just a tiny slope, and I think that makes a big difference. So, how's everybody doing? I hope y'all doing good. Thanks for subscribing and commenting. So I'm doing okay today. Thank God I didn't wake up in the middle of the night like I have been doing. And I actually slept into almost 8 o'clock this morning. Now, you know, I really feel this today, but let me tell you what I try to be conscious of. You know, you start feeling good one day and you think you're going to be the same the next day. That's not always the case. So just, I don't think it's humid out here. You know, I get like this when it's real humid. But I don't want to pass out because it's a rainy day. And nobody is going to be visiting the cemetery today. Unless it's some other walkers probably. And I could be back on this road in the back here. You know, dying. And I have my cell phone, so that's a good thing. When you go someplace where it's isolated, it's good to have your cell phone on if you did need some help. So I hope it would never come to that for me or for any of you guys. So I can't even. What do I want to talk to you guys about today? I want to talk to you about getting motivated. For those of you that haven't started yet. You know, if you're anything like me, there's always an excuse. Always an excuse. And I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer because, you know, when I look back at those videos, like yesterday's video, for instance, I was bouncing all over the place. Now, I know I walk with a limp, and that is because of my back problems. I got all kinds of things. Arthritis, a separated disc, well, they call it a sliding disc. Some narrowing, foraminal narrowing, they call it. But what happened was, about, you know, this is when it all went downhill for me, actually. Well, I guess it was about, you know, 12 years ago, 13 years ago. This was when I really started going downhill. But my family and I we were having a little picnic in the backyard, and I went to sit on one of those cheap plastic chairs. They only cost $5. They're the cheapest ones you can get. And I sat down too quickly, and the whole chair flipped backwards. Now, it didn't hurt real bad at that time. I got up, I continued, you know, we had a nice day. But I think what happened was I tilted, my pelvis was tilted. And I went for MRIs, I went for physical therapy. You know, I went to do whatever I could to get this corrected. I even went to a chiropractor thinking he would get my hips straightened out, because I know it's causing everything else lopsided walking like that. But nobody ever did anything. And I watched several YouTube videos years ago, and I wasn't able to correct it. You know, and I wanted to correct this hump here on my upper neck here. So the problem I'm talking about is in my back. But I was watching a video about trying to get rid of that neck, and I followed the steps, you know, I write as good as I can, and the steps said to stand against the wall and push your head back and against the wall and hold it there and keep doing that. And I did it faithfully, and then come to find out that I ended up having such a sore neck that it lasted for 8 months before it got better, that I could hardly turn my head. You know, so if you're watching some of those videos, be careful, because Now, I'm sure that helps some people, but, you know, we're all different. I'm not going to knock that video, but another time, my doctor was telling me to lay in my bed and push the one leg down as far as I can go, and then the other leg, hold it by the knee and pull it as close to my chest as I could. Well, I like this doctor, because he specialized in that kind of thing. But boy, it's hot out here. But what ended up happening there is hold on, folks. Hot. Is that I ended up having knee problems for 2 months. My knee hurt. And the next time I went back to him, I told him what happened, and he said, well, don't hold the knee, hold the leg under there, under your knee. So I tried that too, and I just couldn't get my hips straightened out. So now I haven't watched any of those videos. Maybe they've come up with something in the last few years. Because I really think if I could straighten my hips out, I would do a lot better. I mean, you could even see it when I walk. I'm like, shh. And now I have tried the lift under the one foot that's lower, and that helps a little bit. But I think I'm gonna buy some more of those and try to make it a little bit higher. And if I could do that, that might help. So if any of you guys know of any tricks, please let me know, because I would love to get my hips straightened out. You know, everything connects to everything else. And sometimes you don't realize that the initial problem could be something like your back or something that's causing other issues. So, but I'm just thankful I can still walk. As long as I keep doing this walking and losing weight. But I tell you, I had a doctor when I was down in Florida, and she knew everything about my back. And it was the VA medical center down there that I was going to. And she said, you need to lose the weight. She said, if you don't do this, she told me, she said, you're going to be in a wheelchair. So I always remember her saying that. And that was a few years ago, and I still didn't lose the weight. You know, we all know what could happen to us. You think that would scare us enough to make some changes? We've always known. Every time we put a bite of bad food in our mouth, we've known. And it's not like I don't want to keep on living. You know, I'm happy. I enjoy my life. You know, I have plans, and that's not it. It's the addiction. That's what it is. Well, I can't tell you how many times I tried to quit smoking before I actually did. That was a hard thing to do too. They say that it's as hard as giving up cocaine, giving up cigarettes. But for those still smoking too, you do feel a lot better without them. Not to mention the cost of them nowadays. I'm sorry I'm going slow. Just not feeling that good now. This is my second time around. Let me hustle up a little bit. Somebody suggested that I don't carry my camera. And if I ever get so fast that I can't carry my camera, I'll do that. But that's a long ways down the road. Right now, you folks are actually helping me. You know, and I have to tell you that last night when I was feeling so tired, I was thinking to myself, you know, I'm starting this channel and I'm getting more and more committed every time I put a video out there. And I'm thinking to myself, what if I can't do it? What if I can't do it? Then I got to tell you all, I'm sorry, I won't be on here anymore. And if it gets to that, I might as well just forget about it. Decide to sit in my chair for the rest of my life. Wheelchair. Plus people I'm letting down. Because hopefully somebody's getting motivated. But it wasn't a long thought. It was a fleeting thought. And I was so tired yesterday that and hurting. I was hurting. That that's bound to happen. So I got up this morning with a good night's sleep, and I didn't think nothing like that. My first thought was I got to get out and do a walk. So here I am. So this will be 2 times around, and I do feel like I can go another time, so I'm going to try it. But for the folks that haven't started yet, just do it. Just get out there. Start with a half a block. Start walking around your block, or if you have a home, walk down the road a little bit. And don't push it too fast. I think that's the trick. That's always been my problem. I have always wanted things to happen overnight. And I'd push myself. And that doesn't work because you end up discouraged and hurting. So that's why this time I want to do it very, very slow. So that it's enjoyable. Like walking right now, because I'm breathing a little better. It wasn't at first. That first lap was tough. But now the oxygen is starting to go to my muscles and my lungs and everything, I think. So it's making a difference, but I still don't want to go fast. So, listen to your body. I think that's the best thing you can do is listen to your body and follow what your body's telling you. And it'll tell you. It'll speak very loud. Don't ignore it. And start slow. You don't have to give up those carbs. I know I'm talking like I know it all. I don't, but it's reminding myself as I say this. I'm not into it for that long. But I've watched so many videos that I know what they say. That no carb life, everybody on there says start slow, and well, most of them say that. Some of the younger people and some of the men and women can just go cold turkey. But I couldn't. And I don't think it was really safe being a diabetic, but just, I know I'm repeating myself, but I saw something back there. I don't get spooked or nothing in the cemetery. I don't think about that. But I wouldn't come here after dark or even later in the evening. I don't like the idea if it's starting to get dark. But it's peaceful in a cemetery. And you could find a cemetery anywhere in this world, probably not too far from you. Go in the morning when there's not a lot of people around. I actually asked the caretaker, or whatever you call them, if it was all right for me to walk here. And I also called the church. And the caretaker said no, they like walkers coming around because it keeps an eye on the place. So, but you could find, if you don't have access to trails or tracks or anything, a cemetery is always an option. And don't go too deep into the cemetery. Stay where, some, like over there behind me, way back there, I don't go on that side. Actually, that's a different cemetery, but I don't go over there because I feel that this one is more, has more traffic, I think. Okay, so I'm on my third round here, And I'm going up this little hill, the one that I talked to you about. Can you see it? Doing better this third time than the first time. Up until that point, now I gotta sit down. Oh my Lord. So, this is the perfect time of the year to get out here and do this. In the winter time, in the freezing cold, it's not that easy. It's a perfect time to start your journey, folks. And those of you that know it already, your comments help those of us that don't know it. You know, every bit of motivation we can get is a godsend. So, I'm gonna make it without the rain coming back. And I didn't bring my water jug today either. And I carried that thing yesterday 3 times around the track because I don't like to get dehydrated. And I didn't even think to drink any. So today I thought with the clouds, it's not hot. Maybe I don't need to carry that for 3 rounds. But right now I wish I had it. So as far as the food goes that I bought at Aldi's, I used to shop in Walmart for my food, and I used to have it delivered to my house. So they would pick whatever they could find, those people that were packing it. But now that I'm feeling a little bit better, I get out of the house and I go to Aldi's maybe once a week, once in a week and a half. And the store is not so big to walk around. Walmart, it's just too big. So that might be an option. And the prices, some things are actually a little cheaper than Walmart. So that's just something you could think about if you're on a fixed income or anything. You know, you can get your... They don't have the, what is it, Kerrygold butter, the Irish butter. They don't have that in Aldi's, but they do have an Irish butter, which is over $5 for 2 sticks. But I have been buying that because if I want to only eat healthy fats and stuff, I wanted to have that. And a lot of times I buy the uncured bacon because the uncured is not processed. I don't think. I think that's the way it works. You know, I don't get much in the package, and that is like $5.49. It used to be 6 and change a week or 2 ago, so it's going down. So I'm almost back to my car, folks. I hope this isn't jumping around too much. I think there's a way that I could fix this. I'll try before I post it. I know it can make you dizzy watching a shaky video. And if it's bothering you, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try. As I go along, I'm gonna try to make improvements on my video and, you know, make it more smoother. And I know I keep going from one hand to the other. But I think my arm just gets tired real fast. You know, I don't have a lot of strength in my upper body. Today I think I will do the weights once I rest up. Maybe later in the day. So folks, I'm going to say goodbye for today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for coming along on my journey. And be safe, everyone. And get out there and do that little walk. Bye, folks.